an attempt to involve Iran. Will it succeed? People tend to make mistakes. Sometimes they do so deliberately. Sometimes by accident. Sometimes they are deceived. Sometimes there are professional mistakes, and then others suffer from those. Making mistakes is harmful. And when the Secretary General of NATO calls on Turkey, and I quote, to use its influence in the region to stop the escalation of the conflict in Nagorno-Karabakh, the very Turkey that started this escalation, or rather the war, so how it must be called? Unawareness? Mistake? Maybe neither nor. Through delegating this responsibility to Turkey, which is exporting Islamist mercenaries from Syria, Pakistan and Afghanistan to the conflict zone, pushing Aliyev to wage a terrorist war and to use prohibited types of weapons even against the civilian population, the NATO Secretary General actually completely unties Turkey's hands, as wanted by Erdogan. They bought into his sheepskin and let him into the barn to use his influence. Before, Turkey was hiding in the corners, like it was conspiring, and now it has got the go-ahead to roll up the sleeves and openly deal with this issue. Ankara will deem necessary to understand differently Stoltenberg's message on restoring the peace. All the means justify the goal. This is its version of the peace enforcement, meant to take away all the territories from Artsakh, cleanse the population, and live in peace. Turkey is still a good player in the field of political intrigues. The Eastern cunning against the Western is still a winner. Turkey is successfully rolling NATO around its finger. As for the battlefield, their tricks no longer work there, as well as fists or kamikaze drones. That is why they ask for NATO's help. In his words, we support Ukraine and Georgia together. Why don't you tell Armenia to leave? But to leave from where? From their homes, where they lived for centuries? Ankara surely knows that it will not find comrades in arms within the alliance this time, but it seemed to have succeeded in getting their eyes closed. As for the United States, they are not yet concerned with our region. They have elections, coronavirus, and many internal problems. Yet, in a blink for an eye, they would have to even team up with Iran to fight the locust of terror. But that will come later if all goes wrong. In the meantime, Russia, according to some reports, is already preparing a massive strike in the de-escalation zone in the Syrian province of Idlib, on the camps where terrorists are trained before being delivered to Azerbaijan to fight against Artsakh. And the latest data, Azerbaijani units resorted to provocation. They settled in large groups along the Karabakh-Iranian border, trying to attract the fire on themselves, but in fact in the direction of Iran. Iran certainly sees all this and realizes the far-reaching intentions of the tandem. They have deceived the NATO, but they will definitely not be able to deceive Iran.